Hi, it's Annalisa. And in this video, I want to discuss one of the common questions I received, and it is this. Hi, Annalisa. I am an overstayer in the UK, and I have met a British guy who I want to marry, and we want to get married and apply for a UK spouse visa. Can we do it? So there are two aspects to this question. And one is, can we get married? And second is, can we apply for a UK spouse visa? Now, let's take the first question first. Can we get married? If this applies to you, yes, you can get married if you are an overstayer. And this is the procedure. The first one is you need to contact the local council and the local registrar, and you need to give notice to marry. So you and your partner will need to go and give notice to marry. And usually the local registrar would ask for ID. And since you don't have a visa in the UK, they will then inform the Home Office of this, and you will need to wait for the Home Office to then contact you to confirm that you can go ahead with the marriage. Okay, so as far as I know, I haven't heard anyone being refused to go ahead and get married, but it can happen. Okay, so just because you gave notice to marry at your local registrar doesn't mean that it's like a smooth procedure. You have to wait for the Home Office to get in touch with you and say, okay, go ahead with the marriage. So that's the first one. And when you go to the registrar, you need to have your passport. And if you don't have your passport, then you can't give notice to marry, okay? So that means you can't get married because you won't be able to give notice to marry and so on. So if you do have the passport and the Home Office says yes, the next question is, can you then go ahead and apply for a UK spouse visa? Yes, you can apply, but in majority of cases, there will be a refusal. You will receive a refusal from the Home Office because they expect you to return to your home country to apply for the spouse visa from there. Okay? So if you get refused by the Home Office, then you will need to appeal. And just because you get refused doesn't mean that you are going to lose your appeal. Okay? It really depends on your circumstances. I've had few cases where the overstayer got married in the UK and then proceeded to apply for a spouse visa, and the first application was refused. That is quite common. Okay, so you can't expect just because you got married in the UK and then applied for a spouse visa doesn't mean that you will automatically be granted a spouse visa first time. It's quite rare for the Home Office to grant first time application if you are an overstayer, and this is because they don't want to encourage overstayers, or they don't want to encourage people to overstay and then go through this route. They want you to do it properly, and this is why you always have a choice. And I always tell clients when they do this, when they want to not to go back to their home country and stay, and they just want to stay in the UK and hope for the best, and is this, it's going to be very expensive to challenge the refusal. And I think it's probably better and cheaper to go back to your home country, apply from there. Although there's never a guarantee that when you go back to your home country, you are going to get the visa, because the Home Office can make it really difficult for you. In fact, I had one client who did everything as the Home Office asked. And so she appealed against a decision, and then she then returned to her home country to apply for the spouse visa and complied with all the requirements. But the Home Office came up with all kinds of reasons why, she was refused. And so we then have to lodge an appeal. And when we lodged the appeal, luckily for her, her husband was well connected with MPs in his constituency, in where he lived. So he knew a lot of MPs, he knew politicians who then put pressure on the government, put pressure on the Home Office to grant her the visa and to review her case. And she was able to do this. The Home Office eventually, finally, reconsidered her application and granted her the visa, instead of having to wait the appeal process, which is really, really long and can take about a year before you even get the decision. And in the meantime, you and your husband will be separated if you return. So I can understand the anxiety of taking the risk of going back, returning to your home country and apply from there, which is what the Home Office will expect you to do, because there will be a risk that you will get refused, and then you'll have to appeal and wait for a long time before you and your partner can be together. So it doesn't mean that when you get a refusal from the Home Office, that when you appeal, you will also lose that. It really depends on the circumstances. In some of my clients, when they appealed, they win and they get their visas. But majority of cases, the first time you apply, it will be a refusal. You will then have to appeal and challenge the decision and prove to the tribunal that there is really no point going back to your home country and that you should be allowed to stay in the UK. Okay? So as a lawyer, my advice would always be go back to your home country and apply from there, but just make sure that you comply with the financial requirement and the English requirement and all the other requirements in order for it to be a smooth process. Otherwise, you run also the risk of not being able to get back to the UK as quickly as you can, because it takes 3 months when you apply from your home country. It takes 3 months before they decide your application, and so there is a gap of, a period of distance between you and your partner before you can be reunited again. So that's my advice. Okay, so got 2 questions: can you get married in the UK, and can you apply for spouse visa in the UK? And this is really a decision that you need to make. It's not a lawyer's decision. A lawyer would advise you go back to your home country, and I think if you ask so many lawyers, they would say go back to your home country. But if you want to apply to remain in the UK, of course you can do that, but there will always be a refusal the first time. It's really rare that you will get it the first time that you apply. In fact, in my experience, I've only had one case where he was an overstayer and he was able to get the partner's visa first time. Okay, so they granted it. So that's what I'm saying. Even though you are an overstayer, doesn't mean it's impossible, but it really depends on the circumstances. Okay, well, thanks for watching. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe our channel, Do It Yourself Immigration, for more videos like this. Thanks for watching. Bye.